Hi everyone, Mr. D here on uh April 19th, 2023 for another Wellness Wednesday update. Doing somewhat well this day, getting into the groove of things, been a little dysregulated the last few days, but we're doing better. We're moving forward, trying to come out of the situations that we've been in this week, more mentally than physically. On the physical front, things are so, and things happen and that's part of life. At the weight loss club this week, I gained a half a pound, and I used to beat myself up over that a lot, but in reality, it happens. And whether or not I come up with a million excuses why, but why come up with excuses? I could have not finished drinking it at the right time. I could have not, been fully emptied at the time. It could have been a number of factors that could have caused the weight to be a little up, and could have been part of my reasoning too. But it proves the fact that it doesn't matter what you do mentally, as long as you're doing the right things mentally, you can exercise for miles and miles and miles. But if you sometimes it's not going to be the automatic answer to the weight coming off. And in fact, the weight did come off by the next day. It did fall off like it should, but I wasn't patient, and you always have those expectations that if you exercise, that it's gonna just fall off, like the pounds are just gonna fall off like crazy. And in reality, it did not. Now I'm thankful, it wasn't that bad of a weight gain, and it does happen from time to time. But the main thing was that I did not beat myself up over it. I moved on. And I think that's the thing. That's taken me a long time to do as an autistic person, as a person in general. It's hard sometimes when we go and we face a scale routinely week to week to week. And when we do what we think we are doing, we're losing. And then we have a gain. Well, that's expected, and I'm glad I'm very thankful that it was only a half a pound. That means it's expected. And it wasn't like a damaging thing where I wasn't sabotaging myself before I weighed in. I continued to follow the same procedure that I did week in and week out. So obviously, I'm trying to do the right thing here and lose weight as I can. It's just sometimes our body is dysregulated. Mentally, we have a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety. People sometimes don't think I have anxiety or stress, but sometimes I do, and it's not pretty sometimes. Sometimes it's my own doing, and sometimes it's not. In fact, the last few days have not been great. I wouldn't say that they've been perfect. They've had their own kind of flaws to them. And honestly, I'm not happy about it, but we move on from them. We can't live into a side of guilt, or a side of anger, or a side of just feeling sorry for ourselves, because you have to move on. You have to move on and try to be better. And I think that's the thing with me is I'm more resilient than what I used to be. And I don't know if it's just going through the motions the last few years, or just I want to be better. And it's like sometimes we have a setback. um it's like something sets us back just a little piece in life. It could be a million things, but it just sets us back. And sometimes it's hard for us to get back into rhythm, and we don't see it, and we just keep going, and we keep going, and we keep going. And when we get back into rhythm, it sometimes takes longer than what we think we think it can be a quick fix, or a quick return, when we set ourselves back on things, or and then it takes us time to rebuild the damage that we've done. And I think that's a hard thing to accept. Yes, it is a very hard thing to accept. It does. It's really difficult. I think I'm starting to rebuild after I've been really burnt out over the last 3 days, and for reasons, obvious reasons. But I think finally being able to get re-regulated basically after having a little downward spiral. And when you right and you're out for the count, and you have to get catch up in the sleep department or the recharging department, it's just taking time, and it does take time, but you can't be miserable in the process. You have to try to get through it, be the best that you can when you get through it, and don't set yourself down, and don't beat yourself up over it. I think that's one of the hardest things there is to do about it, is you want to continually beat yourself up over it, or you continually want to just feel sorry for yourself. And I did that for a good bit this morning and into the morning, as I am with my mother and her, when I get negative around her, and because I feel comfortable doing that. And I have to work on that ultimately. But part of that, when you're working on it ultimately, and you have to work on it in your inner self, frankly, it's definitely hard. It's definitely a trial and a tribulation, that is for sure. I could sit here and beat myself up the rest of the day about how horrible my life is, or how horrible I did something, or whatever. But I'm just done. I'm done being miserable. I know I have to focus on being alert and up and moving the rest of the day, and not feeling sorry for myself, because I know life could be a whole lot worse. And getting up in the morning, and maybe I didn't do the right things, maybe I slept too long, whatever, but I got to keep moving, and hoping to get things back more regulated here over the next couple of days, and hope to stay that way and not have the cycle repeat itself over and over and over, because it just seems that it can't be regulated, and it's hard, it's challenging, it's tiring. It's just enough. It's just enough. But in the food department, in the food nutrition, I'm getting out there, I'm walking, I'm doing what I need to do. But in hindsight, on the other side, it's just keeping things in balance. And that's sometimes the hard thing in life. It just, well, if one thing's doing well, the other thing isn't. And it's so hard sometimes to keep it in balance, I think. Mental health is a killer. It can be. It's definitely challenging. I won't say that it isn't. It has been for the last 3 to 4 years, and I think all my life it's been challenging. I just don't think I've ever called attention to it as much as I have. But I know it's important to stay well and be well for many reasons. And I know I do well, but sometimes like that little bit of temptation, or that little bit of eagerness gets in, and you just want to bite into it, but you can't. You just can't. So with that being said, I think that's enough for today. I'm going to jump off here, try to get some things done today. I just want to do a quick update because I feel I need to. As I said, I gained a half a pound at the club. I'm hoping to get that off this week. And then I overall here on my Wednesday personal weigh-in, I'm like 336 and something. So I think I gained a little bit on that end too, but we're moving on. And today is a new day, and we're not going to let anything spoil it. So with that being said, I want to thank you again for listening. Have a nice day and take care, and we'll see you soon.